Yeah, nikamwambia Rev, nimechoka na hii marriage. Nimechoka na maisha ya marriage. Hii si lazima tuishi pamoja. Na yeye anamwambia I'm not feeling safe.
Yeah, I don't feel safe with Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Karibuni tena sana. Once again, it's a pleasure for us to bring you another video today. Kama kawaida. We continue to thank you for your support, and we continue to thank God. We meet people randomly, people who don't comment, haven't said anything, but they're like, the Kakais, you're doing an amazing work, and that really encourages us. So tunashukuru sana.
Sure.
Last episode we did roses, the roses in our wedding, and we were just encouraging people to celebrate their marriages, appreciate their partners and what they have, because that is how you encourage each other to keep doing life together and to keep your marriage. So today, Leo, guys, we will be vulnerable and share the thorns. The challenge. Ukisikia thorn, imagine ukidungwa mse. The thorns that we've had in this marriage. Yes. So yeah, and we will be sharing what we've gone through during our dating and also in marriage.
Sure.
And probably, I know we will leave out the party solutions, how far we are, and what we've done about it. And what we will do is we will bring couples on board who will be sharing the solutions per item. Yeah. If this is a challenge, then we bring someone to just share on this is how you can go about it as a couple. Yeah.
Yes. And by the way, before we get to the main discussion, my wife is releasing a new song today, Friday, 1st of July, 2022.
Yeah.
Naitwa Jangwani. Niko hapo, by the way.
Yeah.
So kindly, today at 4 p.m., Friday, 4 p.m., be there kwa channel yake, Lea Zaken. That one is purposely for ministry, gospel, the music ministry. So kindly, as you wait for that song, ingia hapo, subscribe, and as you subscribe also, watch the other songs zenye amefanya several songs. Yeah, so back to our story today.
Yeah.
So actually, what I want to mention is these things we are sharing, it's what we have gone through, and it's not just exemptional to us.
Yeah.
It is mostly to almost every family as ikianza pale. Hata what we shared last week, it isn't that ni kubrag, tulikuwa tuna brag about our family. It is what most of other families are going through. Also today are the ones. Sio sisi ni watu wabaya sana, hatujaokoka, hatujui Mungu, hatujui familia ni nini, hatujui upendo ni nini. We know, but it happens.
It does. Yeah. Actually, for those who are yet to get married, dating sawa mtakuja tuongee.
Mimi I felt we were very prepared and nilikuwa najua, but we were very prepared.
Yeah.
We invested in this. We visited couples. We went for a class which had actually a topics to be discussed, and we went through all those topics.
Yeah.
But we still encountered some
bit of challenges.
Some hish.
Yeah. So our thorn number one has been finances. Even before marriage.
Yes.
Finances was a big deal.
A big deal.
Yeah. And I will quote Mercy Masika because I love that woman of God, and it is how we had with this statement that finances are an issue, whether they are there,
yes,
or whether they are not there.
yes,
yeah. If you have a lot of finances, you have issues of how do we, spend.
But the management.
Yes, is someone misusing our money? Then if you have little, you have challenges of feeling like
you have needs which are not
one
met.
of us not working hard enough? Why are we frustrated?
Yeah.
So, babe, how would you describe our challenge when it comes to finances?
I think a major challenge with finance was budgeting. And each of us had different ways of budgeting.
Yeah.
I would say because of it ni msimu ya politics. Kuna mwenye alikuwa na bottom up na mwenye alikuwa up bottom. So what do I mean by this? Like kuna mwenye alikuwa, I want us to budget from the first thing to be savings, then go to the expenses. And then the other person was, we begin with the expenses, then coming to
savings. Whatever remains, we save.
We save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, guys, you can imagine. Hey,
sasa mimi nilikuwa from expenses to savings.
Yeah. And
I will give my reason which I gave. I had.
Nobody see. Mimi singekubali. Yeah. Nilikuwa naona manze, we will spend all the money we had. And one challenge that we had again is that we had quite a number of expenses.
Yeah.
Because immediately we got married, I was PG. So you can remember we had expenses in terms of especially fruits.
Yeah.
Then it happened that the first place we lived immediately after the wedding was quite expensive. Yeah. Even the rent was in ilikuwa juu. Yeah. We could afford it, but we had to think through how then do we reduce our expenses so that we have enough money to save. And so one of the ways is we had to shift and come to a place that is less expensive.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, but then the reason I was saying this expense to savings is they are the fixed. When you come to business, we talk of fixed costs. Those are the main the fixed costs I was talking about now, because no matter where you begin from this side or from this side, you'll have the fixed costs.
But there's a cost such as food. There's a cost such as transport. There's a cost such as events, which is not fixed. It's not fixed. Yeah. And I felt like, I remember my countering was, we will end up spending even on this which are not fixed. It's okay, nyumba, we know we are spending 20 Gs, for example. But now if we say we start with expenses, then it means we will add up of food. Yeah. And at that time I was taking fruits like every other day. Every day. Yeah. I couldn't skip any day without something. And so we would end up really with nothing left to save. But anyway,
I had a challenge with finance. And I keep mentioning this. Before I got married, I struggled with this.
Alinikopa tukidate 10K. At that time, I was an intern. 2020. I was getting paid 10K per month.
Mazena kukopa mshahara yako full.
Imagine, and I remember ulinikopa tukiwa to the first 2 months of dating.
Yeah.
I sent Yeah.
We had met, I think.
No, I was still in Nakuru.
You're in Nakuru?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I sent him that money, but I kept praying. Oh God, I pray. I pray, oh Lord. Asiweze tu kurudishia pesa yangu
Touch this man.
because I don't know what I will do to him.
But nilirudisha.
Yeah, alirudisha.
I refunded the money.
Yeah.
So by the way, before I got married, I was in employment for a year plus.
Yeah.
But I had not done anything with my cash. I had just bought a piece of land somewhere at home, which I was still paying.
Yeah.
And the rest, maze ilikuwa inaisha tu hivyo.
But you had also built for Chores.
Yeah.
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 I think the big
by the way,
things the big projects for you are the land.
The land.
And
by
building
that I had made
grandma.
a commitment. I have to build something at home for her before I start my house.
Yeah.
So I did that in the first year and bought this piece of land. But checking what I'm earning, and what I've the expenses which went to this building and the land.
There was still much more you could have done.
There was still much more I could have done.
Yeah.
But you know that I used to copa, like Mshwari, KCB M-Pesa. Those two were my main loans, loaning apps. And after that, ningekopa wase.
Imagine, guys, and we don't even want to say how much this guy earns. Yeah, we are not mentioning.
Jamaa beshte yangu angenikopa pesa niwe nimeishiwa, lakini sitaki kumwambia sina. Maze naingia. By the way, mimi nikifikiria hii story nakumbukanga, I always, hata nakwambianga tu, I always mention Terence Creative.
Yeah.
This man venye anashanga story yake anajionanga hapo ndani. Yeye alikuwa addict wa betting, wa casino nini vitu kama hizo, gambling. Lakini mimi nilikuwa addict wa sijui nini. I think moyo wangu ni wa kupeana vitu.
Yeah.
Pesa kwanza, mtu akiniomba pesa ni mara hiyo maze I send. Na nikiishiwa ukiniomba pesa na una mtu kuna mabeshte wange niomba around 20-30k na sina, naingia kwa app
anawakopea,
nakopa na sitamwambia nimekopa na iko na interest. Nimemwambia tu ngoja nione venye nitakopa. Sina, lakini nione vile nitakusaidia maze. Na kopa iko na interest, ananirudishia the 20k. Yes, ajui kama iko na interest. Maze mimi mwenyewe ndio hiyo interest nitafute nilipe.
Yeah, so guys, you can imagine the work we have done, the work I have done on this month.
I was shocked the first month of marriage, in marriage. Tumemari, tumechapa kazi, tumekula na tumenunua vitu za nyumba actually that month.
Yeah.
Now with that, by the end of the month, naangalia account yangu iko na 20+.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And you couldn't believe
na
how.
Nimelipa rent. Tumenunua vitu za nyumba zimenunuliwa na tumekula vizuri na vitu zenye wenye tunafaa kusort home tumeshawa sort. And I have 20+. Jeez. I couldn't believe.
Yeah.
That's how was things were.
Yeah.
Sasa niambie tukiingia kwa marriage hivyo. Nataka kutuma hii, nataka kuna beshte amenikopa pesa nimtumie nini. Sasa tunapigana, tunakosana nini.
Sasa lazima ulize Lea kuna mtu hapa nini. Yeah. Not to say that we don't help.
We do.
But
by the way, we do.
We need to be.
But within our budget.
Yes.
Within our budget.
It has to be within budget. And you really have to think logically.
Yeah.
Yeah, even as you get moved by people's stories and so on.
Sure.
Hey, thought number 2.
Thought number 2. House chores. kazi za hapa nyumbani mwetu bwana.
Yeah.
Here comes a man who knows that like we need to help one another, but mimi nimechoka. Shida ni nini madam?
So okay, we have to mention you moved into the house that I came into.
Yes.
The night before our wedding, right? Because of several factors.
Yes.
So
actually the night on Friday saa moja ndio gari ilikuwa inasimama hapo. Na sasa hiyo sijanonyolewa, sijafanya nini, na harusi ni Saturday asubuhi. Yeah.
So sisi tukaenda harusi vizuri, tukaenda honeymoon. And then after that week we went for honeymoon for a week.
Yeah.
Coming back, see we are met with that kao yenye vitu hazijapangwa, and then the groomsmen had spent
my
Friday
place.
night at your place.
Yes. So we arranged the sitting only.
Yeah. And they didn't wash the utensils.
Ade tuliacha vikombe, tuliweka maji, tulikuja chai na tukaweka vikombe maji hivi na tukaenda. Hata zingine zilikuwa na mkate ndani.
So sisi tumetoka honeymoon. Sasa sisi ndio tukakuja. Tukipanga, my husband was psyched. Oh, I was amazed. Mimi nilikuwa nashtukia hivi. You remember we told you we did a bit of shopping.
Yeah.
So we had bought things like curtains, bed sheets, nini. So mimi nikifanya this side, my husband ako this other side anaeka curtains. I remember hata ni wale hadi curtains za sitting.
Yes.
I was very proactive. I was so happy. Mimi nikadhani
funga vitanda mbio
maisha London. Nikadhani sasa
you are so tired.
Nitakuanga nasaidiwa. Kumbe jamaa after kumaliza kupanga nyumba akachoka triple. Alikuwa anaamka, anakaa kwa desk ya job.
Anachapa job. Chai inaletewa hapo.
Kenye tu atafanya ni kunawa uso. Hiyo huko unasahau. Ananawa uso, anaketi. I prepare breakfast. Namletea, anasema sawa. Naleta, anatake. Nakuja nachukua utensils.
Unajua nilikuwa nikikaa hivi kwa my desk ikiwa hapa. So the other table, the table ya sitting ilikuwa hapa kando. So nilikuwa na take breakfast kwa table, na then naekelea kikombe kwa sahani na whatever is on my table. Then na stretch mkono tu hivi naekelea kwa table ya sitting now.
Imagine.
Na narudi kazi.
Naka lunch time inafika.
Baada mkuja chukua vyombo.
Guys, si mimi nilichoka. Si mimi nilisikia nimedanganyiliwa. Si nilitamani kurudi kwa mama Martin, mzazi wangu, ambako huwa tunasaidiana kazi. I was so tired, babe. Wow.
I'm sorry. For sure that is true. But then mimi nilikaa. Kukaa ile, ushaona ile kukaa. Kuinua hizo vitu mazee. Unajua tukipanga hiyo nyumba vitu zingine nilikuwa namwambia wewe acha hii ni rahisi, lakini najua ni mzito. Sitaki tu achoke. So namwambia tu acha. Mazee niko hapo nainua. Nimesikia mguu huku hivi. After imeisha. Nikasema tu acha ningangane tu iishe. Then I take leave kidogo nipumzike.
Sasa hakuniambia na take leave. Mimi nilikuwa tu nashangaa hizi ni gani jameni. Sawa. Anyway, sawa.
But now we had an issue there. At some point we came and talked about it.
Yeah.
And we resolved on helping one another in the house chores. Number one, mimi si ule msee utakuja uniwekee schedule. Mimi si atuniwekee program. Mimi nikipika leo wewe ni wewe, nini uvyombo nini. Mimi ni we do it together. My wife now on the other side, na yeye anataka if you are helping me,
at least
let me sit down and you go do it. I mean, namwambia, no, that one cannot happen in my house.
But talk to us guys. Sasa mtu kama anakusaidia na anataka bado ukue hapo. Si bado tu unaishi kitchen. Anyway.
Mimi I would rather we do it daily. Ukiosha vyombo pale mimi nakatakata kitunguu naekelea kitunguu ugali, we are together. Like I felt that was when I heard of marriage. That was the expectation now. Like we are in the house together, the two of us. So I'm just closing my eyes to see that picture again. Yes. We later sat down and agreed. I think that was, I always say it's around August.
Yeah.
That is after around 3 months.
We had to talk because after I realized that, now I was getting mad and angry a lot of times. Sasa mimi nimetoka kama nimeenda ofisi, ninarudi nafika kwa nyumba 7:30. Mume wangu, by the way, kwenye nimechelewa job, pia yata extend kufanya kazi. Hawezi maliza.
Akikuja saa 2 atanipata nikiwa job.
Alafu nikiingia.
Akiingia anafunga laptop.
So I used to be like,
most at times, ulikuwa unanipata tu nikizima. Na sijui shetani. I don't want to swear, but that is true.
Sawa.
That was a big issue.
Yeah, it was. But we worked on it.
We worked on it.
The other thorn. Meals. Meals.
Up to date, man.
Now, I will tell you again, what was your expectation?
My expectation.
Yes.
Expectation. By the way, men, and also ladies. Expectations ni kitu mbaya sana. Ukiingia marriage, hizi tuliambiwa tu kwa class. Hizo expectation, throw them away. Release them. Enter in that marriage when you are free. I declare, I will enter in that marriage when I'm free. But now, I entered with some expectation which I did not release. And I speak to you, man, release those expectations. Nilikuwa na sana expectation asubuhi nikiamka. Napata tebo imechafuliwa vizuri. Iko na kandizi hapa, tule tundizi tudogo, tule tu sweet banana. Tumewekelewa pale, kuna nini nduma pale, inaitwaje nini?
Sweet
potato iko pale, na kuna kapisi ya avocado, na kuna mahindi pale. Then chai iko hapa. Ile tikni.
Yes.
tikni.
Oh yes. With the cup and the sauce.
Cup and sauce. Yes. Sasa ni like ni mimi ni kapisi kamoja tu hivi, kama hindi kamechemshwa kapisi, ka sausage kako pale, ka samosa kama kako, like
kama
mayai boilo, ama kanini ka fry. Ish. Come back to my house where my wife is.
And you ate like that during honeymoon.
Babe, and there mandazi. Day 1. Babe, and there mandazi. Day 2.
So, when I was PG, kuna mandazi hapo nilikuwa napenda. Na especially enye haina nini ndani.
Enye haina nyama ndani.
Ka dry hivyo. Walikuwa napika vizuri. Sasa, mimi breakfast, it's either we do hizo mandazi or mkate.
Bread.
Or nini mahindi boilo. But sasa you see, okay, and of course once in a while we will do mayai.
Yes.
Or smokies once in a while.
Yeah. And you hear it is either we do mkate, si ati zote pamoja. So mimi nilikuwa naona mimi kwangu ilikuwa ni hizo chafua, kuna ka toast kale kamechomwa vizuri.
And then there's a week nilikuwa tu nataka kunywa kahawa. My husband na yeye anapenda majani.
Majani bwana. Ojani.
So mi tu niko like si tutengeneze tu hapa kahawa jameni. Yeah. And so the solution is that you've had to
The solution was, Joshua, you have to clear the expectation and take what is brought before you. The Bible says,
with thanksgiving.
take whatever he brought before you with thanksgiving.
But I think I'll take you out one of these days and make sure you have
unaona
that.
Your expectation. Na then unaenda honeymoon. Unapatana na the same thing now. So unajiona like, this is it. Unajiona ni kama uko kwako sasa, unaona like, when I go to my house, this will be the thing. My wife has learned. My wife has learned. Tulienda by the honeymoon, tulienda immediately after lockdown imefunguliwa. Ilifunguliwa Saturday, tukaenda Monday. So tulipata hoteli haina wasee wengi. So tukatayarishiwa mavitu vizuri. My wife will do this in my house.
Who is the wife?
My father.
Thorn number 4.
Thorn number 4. It is conflict resolution.
Yep.
Hapa ni normal. I had a challenge.
What was your challenge?
My challenge was my wife.
How?
For me was, kama kuna shida, let's resolve now, tumalizane hapa. My wife is giving me time. Give me time. But guys, for those who are in marriage, how do you resolve your conflict?
Yeah.
How do you sort it? Hebu niambie wewe.
Yes, conflict resolution. So, Josh anataka tumekosana, tuzungumzie now. Right?
Yes.
Tuketi na tuonge, tuseme hivi na hivi na hivi, na the other person aonge. Now, I found out I am a choleric melancholy when we're doing our personality test.
Yeah.
So being a melancholy means that I find it hard to verbalize my feelings and say this and this, you did this and this and this, and it hurt me, right? So I prefer, to melancholies, we prefer showing it in action or facial gestures, but rarely do we want to speak.
Yeah.
So you see, Mimi is speaking about it is new. But my husband wants us to speak about it. Me, I'm like, just give me time. Acha tu kwanza nitulie, because I don't want to start breaking down nini and so on. So that was a challenge. But now with time, I think we are learning, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So he's learning. I think he's more patient, although he was patient from the beginning. But now like, you understand.
It takes time for me to kujam.
Yeah.
But now the problem is when I get to that point ya kujam nayo, huwa na jam.
But I feel like even ata ukijam, you still want to speak about it.
Let me just say, I'm still sober. Yeah. I can still speak about it. And, actually, my issue, when it comes to conflict resolution, I always prefer ile ya nikikukosea, usengoje nikukosea tena ndio ujam. Just don't, ama ujam, usijam. Mimi naonanga si feeling unafaa kujam. By the way, that is it. Na feeling like si tunapendana. Come tu niambie. Si ile time tunacheka. Mimi by the way tukicheka na uniambie kitu nitaichukulia mzaa hivi tu. But ukiniita Josh, I want us to talk. I'm like, babe, I want us to talk. Nitajua hapa kuna kitu.
So you don't fear the words like I want us to talk?
I don't fear it. I don't fear it because I always I want you to come and tell me, I want us to talk. Mimi hii na hii ilifanyika na siku feel poa ama ulinikosea na hii na hii. Like ukiniambia, I will take it seriously and I will apologize.
Yeah, another thing under conflict resolution is even after, so tukiongea na nione ni kama hiyo kitu imekuwa rushed through, we just solve, I would remain with a heavy heart. So
utaki kuongea na then ile time nikijaribu to resolve na tunaimaliza haraka, ufeel ni kama
I still feel okay, hapo umesema hivyo but bado na feel hurt, so it would again take a bit of time. That was then.
Na mimi by then ule mse tukisema pole na pole hapa,
by the way, that is it for him.
The next 1 minute nitacheka na wewe. Saa hiyo na yeye bado
so that can be a thorn. You guys share with us if you're in marriage or in a relationship, and
but it's always good to speak.
It's always good to speak.
Because I think we've had reprieve ile tulilearn kuongea. Na sometimes you do some things intentionally. Amekukosea lakini unampenda. So you can sometimes just let it go. And maybe if you get some courage to pray to talk about it later on. Hata mkiongea vizuri mwambie na by the way unajua ile siku ulifanya hivi na ukanikosea. Sasa I not.
And also pray about it if you have a challenge. So the other thorn is
communication.
Communication. It sounds very easy.
Very easy, but
it's not always easy.
It's not very easy. Yes, it sounds.
Under communication, I think communication, by the way, was an issue for us up to which month?
Most of our dons, they were zilianza kuisha August.
The
reason we are saying this is because we had to sit down. We had to call a third party to come and sit us down. Na anatuchekelea Rev. Alikuja tu tukaongea, anacheka akasema this is
Rev is upset. So he would look at us and then laugh. Akimwambia hiyo ni kidogo.
Tumejam.
Hatuko tumeongeleshana
for a week bana, hatujaongeleshana. Nilimwongelesha hiyo wiki. Nilimwongelesha nikamwambia tu Rev anakaa.
Mimi niko PG hivi, mimi nikamwambia ni sawa amekaribishwa. Siwezi kosa kukaribisha Rev. But okay, in my head I expected, I was like, najua tu umemuita kwa nini. But you see, I had so many, how would you call them? I had my case
build. Very strong.
I was like, I have a strong case against you. I have a strong case against you, Joshua. It's fine, call Rev.
Rev nilimwambia tu kuja tu kuna chai imepikwa hapa. Na hakuna chai ilikuwa imepikwa.
No, but we had when you told me.
We did it after.
After you had.
Nilimwambia tu kama tu kuna chai imepikwa.
And so we actually want to thank God, and we thank God for Rev. Rev Ken Odwori.
Yes.
Thank
you so much, Rev. What you did to this family, we are here today because of you. God used you.
Sasa, one thing I wanted to mention on communication is listening to the other person and to understand their side of the story. Even before we were talking, ulikuwa unaniambia makosa zangu na mimi nilikuwa nakwambia zako. But the number one issue I feel is how okay, from my end especially, how I would address the issue. You would feel very disrespected.
Yeah.
And so you wouldn't respond or do whatever I was saying. You would be rebellious because you feel like I'm addressing you the wrong way.
Yeah.
So we had to change that, and we had to learn. I had to learn how to communicate vizuri. Yeah. But then on the other hand, kulikuwa na issue ya listening to the other person to respond. So we were behaving like enemies and competitors.
Yes.
Of who is more right.
Yeah. Actually, ile mse mmoja one party akiongea, you are just listening so that you can counter.
Yeah.
You can you get the negative side of it and fight it.
Ni kama tuko kwa court, different sides.
Yes.
So, no, my lord, I want to counter. And then blah, blah, blah. And then he jumps in and says,
no, an idea, like I'm here to show her I'm the one who knows best.
Yeah. And so that really almost damaged our marriage and caused a lot of havoc. And we had to learn how to communicate with respect and love, and also listen to the other person to understand where they're coming from with their nini. Now, if someone has understood you wrongly, you say sorry and then now explain when I did it. I didn't have that in mind. This is what I blah, blah, blah. And so we've been able to.
Yeah. And actually, I would say, where there is some like issue with communication, you'll always feel, even if I do anything good to you, you look for the negative side of it.
Yeah.
Ati nakufanyia hivi, anifanyia hivi kwa sababu alifanya hivi na hivi, alinikosea juzi. And for me, I'm doing it just purely out of love.
Yeah. But so, you see, I already feel like you're my enemy.
Yes.
So I'm like, Nisumu nataka kuniekea. What is it behind this being good? Yeah.
Nakumbuka Rev akiwa hapa. Nimejama. Nikamwambia Rev, nimechoka na hii marriage. Nimechoka na maisha ya marriage. Hii si lazima tuishi pamoja. Rev sasa anacheka. Ambia kwanza, nikamwambia talk to Lea, ananiongelesha kama mimi ni mtoto wake. I'm not her son. I'm her husband.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Rev hapo ndio niliona amekaa serious akaniangalia.
I shrank. I don't know if I showed it, but I shrank in me. I was like, what? That's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Niliambia Rev, the way she talks to me as if I'm her son.
Yeah.
And I'm not her son. I'm the man of the house. I'm her husband.
Yeah.
Because I was feeling like kwa sababu ya kujam tulikuwa tunakaa tumejamiana. By the way, for the first 3 months tulikuwa tunakaa kujamiana. Akona muza ball na pia akona zile feelings za simsaidii kazi, tuko hivi. Na kutoka ile time ya kutosaidiana kazi, hata ile time nilianza kumsaidia bado alikuwa bado kwa hiyo uadui. So ilikuwa ni kama anaona ananisaidia ndio anipendeze na mimi sitamuonyesha hivyo. So like it was that conflict, it was there. Na yeye anamwambia I'm not feeling safe.
Yeah, I don't feel safe with Joshua. I can't. I remember if I'm telling you, I don't know if I had any issue, you'd be the first person I would call. Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't call you as the first person.
Na mimi sasa hiyo nasema, acha kitu hata siwe ifanyikie mtoto wangu. Na kitu tu ifanyikie mtoto wangu mwenye umebeba, utanijua. I was at that point. So kindly, what I would advise people, please, when you are in marriage, when you are in relationships, communicate.
Learn how to communicate. The right way.
Learn how to listen.
Yeah.
Listen to understand, but not listening to
counter and respond and reply. Yeah. So the other thing is let me go to moral support in music. So because of the challenges that we've mentioned, the beginning of our marriage, I felt like I was doing things alone, and you didn't want to get involved in my music. You see, initially, and the stories I've had of musicians is, oh, thank you, my husband. He has been my rock and support system. I mean, look at Agunda Bweni and how he supported Evelyn Wanjiru through and through. Look at Moguro and how he has supported Mercy Masika all through. And so I expected
that will be the case.
Now that you know, I've been, and we had discussed ministry even before we came into a relationship. But I felt like he was like, that's your business, and so on. Yeah, and he didn't want to be involved. Of course, me being me and me being very focused, I continued to do what I loved to do. I continued putting as much effort. Of course, I was frustrated, but I was like, you see, at the end of the day, I will go before God alone. If he has given me gift X, he won't ask me and Joshua. He will ask Leah, I gave you gift X, what have you done? And so I would do it, but I felt, really frustrated and just angry with you and at you for not supporting what
But
I
at
was
that point,
doing.
for me, I was willing and very ready to support in everything. I don't think I've ever told you this. But when we came into marriage, and this conflict began, there was a bit of tension in where to go, because actually we didn't have any. The only thing we had together was saving. But the other things, I felt like anything you came to tell me, I think it comes back to communication.
Yeah.
Anything you brought to me about your ministry, you brought an decision already made.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I kept off. You
see
brought
what
the decision
communication does,
already.
guys.
It's like you have made the decision. I'm going to this producer. I'm going to this. I'm going to this. Like,
yeah. But then I would just tell you, that's very true. I would just say, and by the way, I will be doing a video. So naongea na nani, nitaenda ananiuliza when, namwambia next month.
Yes. So at that point, I was feeling like you are bringing to me issues which you have already thought of and finalized. So where is my part?
Yeah.
So at that point, I could not show any interest in it.
Yeah. And you see, on the other hand, I'm doing that because I feel like you're not interested. But don't worry, even if you're not interested, I'm interested and I will try.
And actually the communication, when we are talking of those, when tumeongea mambo ya conflict na communication, our communication, the first 3 months was like, for her, actually I used to tell you every now and then. For Leah, she was talking about, I will do this. I'm going to town. When you tell me you are going to town, that's why most of the times, those days, you used to go to town alone.
Yeah.
You used to go to places alone. Because you have come to me telling me,
Yeah.
So if you not show my, like, ni kama, Aki ulikuwa, unajua alikuwa anaishi peke yake. Anafanya kazi, anajilipia nyumba, nini. So, ninakuja nampata kwa nyumba, anapigilia msumari. Hata nimpate hapo juu, Aki siwezi mtoa. Because you have not even showed me as a man, I'm needed. I'm sorry for not supporting a ministry that time, but I can say I was not the problem. For sure.
We were both the problem.
The day you came to me, and told me, babe, I want to change my producer and I don't know where to go.
That was after a Rev.
Yes.
Yes.
You see
So
now.
the problem...
Even after Rev, I was not involved in your ministry. Until that day, I remember very well. That was the first time you brought to me a raw information for me to process. And from that day, I picked it. I sought for producers, nikapigia, nikamwambia, Bonifu wanalipisha hivi, hawa wanalipisha hivi. And from that day, I was involved. Actually, to date, ministry yake ni kama ni mimi nini manage. Do I?
Yes. Yes, you support a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. The last thought. Hey guys. Musiende msisiyo mkituangalia mseme hao wana smile tu na wamesumbuana, tumesumbuana.
Yes.
But we are happy, we are doing well. We are working on these things.
By the from August last year to date,
we've had a good time.
Hatujai kosa kuongeleshana.
Yeah. That's almost
an year.
Yeah. Hey. And we really thank God for that.
Thank you, Rev.
Yeah. The last thorn that we're going to share today is
third parties relationships. Sana friends. Yes.
What was the
issue? When I came into marriage, by the way, mimi nilikuwa na issue twingi nilibeba from outside to come to marriage. I'm this person who would have left my wife ama my family issue to go and sort somebody else's issue. Yes. By that was me. I could leave. I need to sort something in my house, but I feel I have a lot of time in my house. I can go to sort the other person's issue so that they can feel okay. I felt good when I supported somebody else and helped somebody, naona akismile. Mtu mwenye alikuwa na issue, naona amesmile just because of what I've done. I felt so nice and nilikuwa na feel like ni kama nimeachieve everything in my world.
Yes.
That's me.
So
even today I also feel the same. But I always but I always now I know the first thing, come ministry, come what, the first thing in my life, it is my family. As far as there is an issue in my family, and my family I'm talking of this, my wife and my baby. As far as kuna issue. Hata job tunaambiangwa job saa hii we ukiisha, job kesho itatafutiwa msee mwingine. So you need to take care of your life and your family.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what do you have to say?
Of course. So we needed to. I think that one you worked on. But the other issue that we had was boundaries. Yes. And when I say boundaries is in terms of Josh is a very social person.
Kabisa.
Personally, Mimi, I have very clear boundaries and I respect boundaries a lot. Yeah. Especially when it comes to families and relationships and marriages. I don't want to cross boundaries. Keep things, as clear as could be. I don't need to be a friend more friendly to someone's husband than their wife is. Yeah. So that is it for me. So I mean, I don't want to get so close to but now you find there are people who don't understand that. And Josh, being the friendly social person, he's a choleric sanguine.
Sanguine is the key.
Yeah. But sanguine takes center stage. And so you go to an event and there's this person who is hanging up kwa shoulder. Oh, Papa. Daddy. Oh, Daddy.
Because in ministry, there is a ministry which I used. We got for missions.
Yeah.
So I have so many people
Yeah.
where I was a leader. In the, they were under me, serving under me. I was a leader there. So they used to come and they used to call the leaders. The leaders, even now, we call them daddy, I'm a papa, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So you could find that we are so close to all the members wenye wamekuwa for long.
Yeah.
So unapata like, hey, hata mnatembea mmeshikana mikono, unaweza ona mtu unaweza hug msee.
And I
I
think
got married.
really people in ministry, no, I feel like it is not right. Because I've also served and I never saw that. I know congregations are different, but I feel like there needs to be a special respect to people who we regard with honor as servants in the kingdom, right? So that if today, for example, I really love Rev and he's very close to us, but then even as I meet him wherever, there's a way I can't interact with him, because of that honor,
the respect and honor.
and that respect. And so that needs to be there regardless of whatever congregation, even for those in campuses, because I know that is another place where people may get familiar with each other. I feel like there's a special honor we should have. And so that is just to mention that we had to have those conversations of, I need to see boundaries.
Sure.
By the way,
not only, let me talk about it also, not only in ministry or whatever, but as far as you get married, you are married, you must, not like before marriage cannot be the same as after marriage. The way you're interacting with people, even those who are not married, and your friend gets married, please, let's have boundaries. The way you used to chat
at 11 at night, for example, my friend Mary, we could talk.
Yes.
But the end, I have to give her credit because she has shown that she really respects this marriage. She can't call me at 11 for a 1 hour call.
I remember when we were dating, you could talk from like 9 almost to 11, and I'm calling every time na call na line busy. Hadi at day came nikamuuliza huyo nani mnaongeanga naye? Anambia sijui ni Mary. Akamwambia from today the latest she can call ni 10. Nikamwambia the latest she can call ni 10. From 10 I need my time. So you see, yes, we'll still talk, but now she understands that we can't have late night talks on call for hours and hours on long because there are other responsibilities. Not to say that we can't talk, and so on, we do. And we can always create time if there is need. Now, if there's an emergency, of course, she can call any time of the day or night. But just to say that, guys, hata uko hapo na your best friend got married, please don't be a BFF, sijui a brother, a BFF brother to someone's wife, and you don't even want to know their husband or to be friends with their husband. That is not in keeping with honor and boundaries. And so for us, that was a thorn kidogo. I'll not be with my wife here. Ati niwe ninashika mkono na my wife ako hapa sasa anatembea.
Imagine. So I would hate people.
Utakuja ukinirukia because I'm married. My wife actually my wife is here.
So what do you expect me? Unataka nifanye nini? Nifunge macho ama niangalie kando ama nifanye nini?
Let there be respect. Salimiane, unahitaji nini?
Kama ni hug, it's fine. We are not putting limit to what you can do, but you guys understand hata hugs kuna za heshima na kuna zingine si za heshima clearly. So just respect people's relationships, respect people's marriages, and pia yako ikifika itakuwa respected.
Yes.
Asanteni sana kwa kutusikiza.
These are issues which those who are married go through. And they conquer. We are not here to discourage you guys that marriage is hard. It is not hard. We just need to understand how to deal with these things, and then you are good to go. Not only this, there are so many thorns which I know people may share. And please, if you know other thorns, maybe you have gone through in relationship and in marriage, you can share on comment sections.
Kwa Roses tulishare, sorry to interrupt. Kwa Roses tulishare, some of them can be thorns.
Some of them can be thorns.
As in, all these factors are a mix-up, and it's only that for certain relationships, they've worked on these items, they're yet to work on this. So all these things are factors you should consider in terms of how you'll go around them in a relationship and marriage.
I've seen people struggle with parenting issues. Like the one you said, the support I gave you when you were PG. Delivery and the post-delivery. I've seen ladies struggling on this. Mwanaume haezi beba mtoto. Mwanaume haezi shika mtoto. I've seen, tukitembea na my wife in town, and I'm the one who is carrying my baby, na baby carrier. So naona like, even it's like a new thing to many people. And I think when you see the rich guys, most of them, the men carry the babies. But to us, the middle class, tunaonanga like this thing is for ladies. Na tuko na hiyo mind as men. Unapatana na mwanamke town amebeba mtoto hapa, ameshika huyu mwingine mkono na akona bag amebeba. Na mzee pale mbele maybe ameshika na kabag kamoja tu kwa mgongo na amewalk. Mwanaume miaka gani? I don't think whether my wife has ever carried my baby in town.
No.
I've always carried my baby. Kwanza town, sitakangi mchezo. Na mtu ajaribu tu akuje kunikaribia. Naendanga nimekaa hivi, security bwana. Hey, na feeling my wife akimbeba anaweza gongwa waanguke wote. So na ukipata na mama, hey, thank you so much. Wewe unaendelea vizuri. Hey, madam, enda muongezee mwingine, huyu ni mzuri anajua kubeba. Ukipatana na wanaume, buda, uko fit bwana. And then you meet other ladies. I remember a day tulikuwa tunatembea town. Then tumeshuka gari hapa bus station. Tukishuka hapo nikaona ladies wengine, nikachukua kiko yenye nilikuwa nafunikia mtoto kwa sababu ya baridi. Kuchukua nikimfunikia hivi, niliona wasichana wengine like they are young adults. Around 25 to 35, but venye walikuwa ni watu wako na family. Kaona wameguzana, mimi mmoja amegumza hivi, akapoint kwangu. So mimi nimewaonea kwa side. Na wakacheka na wakaenda. So like I was like, what's funny with this? So there are people who are struggling with this. Mwanaume haezi saidia mahali, haezi saidia house chores, nini. So some of these stones, they are roses to some, and the roses zenye tulishare, they are thorns to others.
So but a good thing is to have discussions on them, and as we promised at the beginning of the video, we will bring people who will be sharing more on each topic.
In-depth discussion.
In-depth, So you want to keep it locked on the Kakai's channel. Asanteni sana. Finally, just to remind you, go to Lea Zaken or Mrs. Kakai channel, and you will get a new jam that will be out. I will be premiering at 4 p.m. That is 1st of July 2022.
So if you are watching this video past fast, the video is already on the channel.
So go and check it out. Please subscribe and support Ministry Isonge Mbele.
Yes, awesome. So also remember to subscribe here if you have not subscribed. And we say bye-bye.